Hey everybody, it's Karen from Freewheel and Travel, and today I'm visiting the Archway in Kearney, Nebraska. The Archway is a museum that spans 310 feet over Interstate 80. It tells the story of the western expansion from the 1840s to the 1960s through multimedia exhibits. Now let's take a brief tour of the museum and grounds. This giant escalator is how most people enter the museum. Unfortunately, this is the only part of the museum that's not completely wheelchair accessible. I took an elevator nearby and I asked my friend to film so that I and you guys could get the full experience. Now we're going to see how the early settlers traveled through thunderstorms and harsh conditions in the hope of building a new life in the American West. Here we have a buffalo stampede and the Mormon handcart pioneers and the wreck of a Conestoga wagon. There's a beautiful organ here. I feel kind of sad that it's in a museum instead of restored and being played. This is a pretty good museum, but I was disappointed that there's very little representation of Native Americans and how they were persecuted during this time. I feel like it's really important that we're honest about history, and to me it's a major oversight that they don't really talk about it. Here we have a Pony Express rider saddling up, and some settlers and a Native American, and a classic stagecoach. They're very beautiful inside, but they were said to be an extremely uncomfortable way to travel. Now we're upstairs and we're going to learn about railroad history, and then my favorite part of the tour, the building of the Lincoln Highway. You all probably know by now I love roadside attractions and tourist traps, anything kitschy, and all that sprang up to entertain travelers on these original cross-country roads like the Lincoln Highway and Route 66. Here's Aria in her classic road trip themed vest. It was perfect for this museum. It has images of vintage campers and old highway signs like I-80 and Route 66. The tour officially ends here in this classic 1950s diner. I love the waitress behind the counter. I want glasses like that. Ooh, it's a long, creepy hallway to the elevator. I film stuff like this so that people can see that when you have a disability, sometimes you have to take different routes. You end up kind of behind the scenes, and occasionally you miss out on things like that awesome escalator. Now we're back outside. We're going to explore the trails. You can see that they're paved, they're very accessible, and there are some interesting sights, including beautiful fall leaves and 2 sod houses, one based on the Pawnee earth dwellings and one based on the type used by the white settlers. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a great time visiting the Archway in Kearney, Nebraska, and I highly recommend stopping by if you're traveling along the I-80. Please support Freewheelin' by visiting our blog, subscribing to our channel, and liking us on Facebook and on Twitter at FreewheelinMe. Remember, when you visit Kearney, Nebraska, no grazing!